right, folks. Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker. Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? Well, we're what you call a non-violent protest, so we won't physically stop you. But we will berate you with name-calling if you try and pass by. Oh, my mistake. If it means the Overseer will actually hear us, we would love to have you talk on our behalf. Although, I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor. That's right, folks! Keep the chanting going! I can see the Overseer up in her office!
With no rest and no downtime!
This feels less like an overt labor negotiation and more like a covert assassination operation. Of course, I'm fine with either, dear.
For a week! Can't believe what I'm losing on Adrena time and energy.
I've no qualms with turning this labor negotiation into a liquidation job, dear. Just say the word.
Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Some ne'er-do-wells have incited our workers to halt all work. They've taken to making demands and carrying on about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice, and if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences. Nevertheless, here we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Auntie's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer. Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you. You are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
Yeah!
Heads up! Make some space! We've got a sanctioned, non-employee professional caller coming out!
Others get the exact same pay!
That's right, folks!
But only
We're
work
changing
12 hours a day!
the overseer up in our office, and we're definitely
Wish I
making
was
her
back on the
miserable.
claim right now. Being on this scarce moon.
If you won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates! You won't let us sleep for 8, you can't charge us for stimulates!
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Settle my complaints? How exactly you planning that? Auntie's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is poor labor retention techniques. What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right, exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which requires stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
Under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work. Right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs.
No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bedroom doors!
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets? To be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Oh my. You're probably right. It's been so long since I've shared a facility, I've forgotten how unpleasant it can be. I trust your insight and will leave it unlocked from now on. What more do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. What in the void are you talking about? My greed is certainly doing no such thing. What? No! I would never! That's slander. And or libel. And you can't prove a thing. Well, fuck. That's quite the rub, isn't it? All right, what do you want? Huh. I don't know why you would waste leverage on them, but I suppose you've got your reasons. All right. They'll get their Adrena time, and you'll get all the bits I got on me. Is there more they ask? 12 hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility, consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. Ah, I understand now. It is important that I see what they are about and how they would choose to conduct themselves. What else do they demand? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible. Welcome back. Angie and I continue to have high hopes. Well, be quick.
at a time.
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? What a little cheat. We could get plenty done with an easier workday. But it don't surprise me she's towing the company line that hard. Well, it's not the outcome we were hoping for. But these changes will make our return to work much more palatable. Thank you for your help.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair creme now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her ankles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all. It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
I suppose that passes for a happy ending among these corporatists. Excellent work, dear.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important. Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Attitude like that will take you far around here. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.
Because nature wants to kill you. Since then, our company has grown, evolved, consumed the first of many rivals.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Is a fellow subject lacking? Come right in, and be refreshed. Port them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Of every protector is subject to ensure they are operating.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts?
All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail,
And a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections.
I'm Head Refresher Ghoul, and I guarantee when you exit our doors, you'll be a
Productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say, goodbye,
imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
That was a nice tap on the old brain pan.
Set progress.
Greetings, subject. Or should I say, refreshed to be. Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
And then our heads will be as empty as yours. I've seen this too many times. It's not as fun as it sounds.
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Our facility's induction corridor is quite an experience, isn't it? A feast for the senses, second only to our chief edification and remembrance center, the Tomb of the Matriarch. Accompanying our head refresher's thought-lulling welcome is a musical score based off an inspirational composition, partially hummed by the consul himself, and a brief spritz of our very own repriorichin gas to boost attentiveness and provide the perfect touch of compliancy to commence your treatment here. Placid Waters Wellnetarium is the primary mental refreshment facility on Praetor. We are tasked with ensuring local subjects are serene, untroubled, and operating at peak efficacy. Right as rain, neighbor. Right as rain. And soon you'll be just like me.
It is the duty of every protector its subject to ensure they are operating at...
Oh, I hadn't noticed you sauntering. But of course I will readily admit you. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal.
Stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of...
Head Refresher Gould says, mental refreshment increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry. I've undergone the procedure myself, several times they say, and look at me now, never more content. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
Behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Greetings, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Wellnetarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Incorrect. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal Protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually. Each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead. Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you?
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
Processing determination. An acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 150 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
I could tell you were in need of mental refreshment. I possess a particularly keen eye for such things.
Many mental refreshment facilities.
Notions are a gateway. Unsanctioned thoughts are strictly prohibited.
Here on Praetor is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by head refresher.
To deliberate is to court ruin.
Responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Try to blend in. Act like a neutered, brain-dead lunatic. Just be yourself.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it.
We're off to be refreshed. So nice to be refreshed.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon. No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try.
The system abides.
A facilitator said that I'd been here thrice, but I only remember once or twice. I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. Are you in disguise? I don't recognize so-and-so as a title. This feels a bit curious to me, but I feel compelled not to question it too much. Maybe the treatment is working. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. can't leave without it.
It is personally overseen by head.
I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs. Suppose so. Maybe almost, at least. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry, though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off. That doesn't seem like the sort of thing that'd be allowed, but guess you know what you're doing. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile. Oh, hello!
At all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why
Medicament
mental
dispensement.
refreshment
Medicament
is
dispensement.
so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits. The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Preserve set progress. Sustain the system.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning
Greeting,
chaos.
unscheduled walk-ins. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today?
As my good friend the consul would say, at its base, humanity unguided is crazy.
Noting gloomful self-diagnosis and responding with couched optimism. Well then, that still leaves plenty of room for improvement.
Our course gives us purpose. The consul is the firm hand that guides us.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day.
Free from doubt, efficient.
Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
Of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
Enemy spotted.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign.
Know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented.
This
And
paradigm
others are
we
not.
serve supplies all we deserve.
Sharpen up. Hostiles nearby.
Sorry, I've no target.
Seeking cover! Reprobates!
Steady eye above!
Hey, what's that sound? Why is the wall look so soft all of
Oh, do I detect a whiff of repriorant gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Ha! You're not a protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Laughing Boy here must be our lead scientist. That gas ought to make him a mite more tractable.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Oh, how outrageous. Suppose I should call the guards, but my. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. I believe in the strength of our ideals. I'm quite certain I'll win you over. What's more, our colloquy promises to be vastly more diverting than my usual day-to-day blather. But if I'm wrong, what would Auntie's choice or the Order or, my word, you're not a scrapper? Well, none of them will know what to do with our advanced know-how. There's a good sport. Do try to keep up. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? What I may find personally satisfying is irrelevant. I think first of my community. Thought is an affliction to the base cog. Rampant, unrestrained rumination leads nowhere pretty. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? Yes, I've seen the craters left in their wake. They're quite capable as far as looting and destruction go. I'm not sure I perceive the merit in that, though. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate the ample bounty we provide, free of doubt and worry. Oh, that does sound rather engaging. Regular discourse with near intellectual equals, likely less of them singing. Though, of course, it does depend what we'd be debating. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. I must say that was moderately stimulating, passably interesting at a few points even, almost intriguing. Now, what next? Oh dear, I don't understand how the machine works, only how to use it. The technical specifications for the lathe of particularity are in my office in the next room, hidden in a cache behind a frame on the wall. Pick up the cap to open it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have a schedule to maintain. So many minds to refresh, so little time. Feel free to scavenge around. It's not as if anything you find here will be any use to your masters.
I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
You've gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Of every protected subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why
Studies untoward inclinations and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Hello! You find my pitch ball?
remember.
Oh, commemorative pitch ball! I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost. Okay. Okay. Ready to go then, I suppose. If we get separated, I'll meet you there.
That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Consider finding a human companion if you seek conversation.
Prudence dictates we reject individualism in all its many forms.
The tunnel out was right here. Oh, they put a poster over it. Take it down, and I can be off. This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Oh, and, last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. You meet us there. She'll surely give you a reward. Guess all outsiders aren't as bad as Prudence makes you out to be.
Refreshing than ever. We route destructive influences.
There are many mental refreshment facilities to be found.
Not possible. No target to gut.
Acid Waters Wellnatarium, here on Praetor, is uniquely special.
It is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould.
Sting! A lot. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Rightly appreciate our perfect life of contentment and plenty.
Standing by to stupefy. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Resorting to violence.
Each of plasma tolerances exceeded. Plasma tolerances exceeded.
The paradigm requires it. That's why.
Trust the plan, preserve set progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
Unfriendly company.
What is
Ratcheting up my aggression.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now.
You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varick, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varick. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today. We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset, launched into hysteric fits of paranoid ranting, absurd nonsense about how the consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Not at all. Why should I? One who questions betrays. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be. Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
I could tell you were in need of mental refreshment.
Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
For such things.
Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
Greetings, new person. You have a little query about you.
To ensure they are
Answers to questions and no questions to answer. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the paradigm.
The mental refreshment process
Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. It's also very helpful. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to Refreshment Facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment.
The Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment
Just follow the signs to the lecture hall.
all happy and contented.
Pondering begets disharmony. To deliberate is to court ruin. Notions are a gateway to mayhem, bedlam, turmoil, and vexation. Thinking never made anybody happy.
Thinking compliance lets the paradigm run with flawless efficiency.
I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? It is the duty of all Protectorate subjects to regularly converse with our neighbors, so we may determine if their zeal has wavered. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric peaks are all abraded.
Refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
I only experience approved emotions. Doubt and worry are notably unsanctioned. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts, after all. Refreshment is inevitable. You can't fight contentment.
When we comply together, we thrive together. It is the duty of every...
Buy from me and live to tell your fellows about my store.
Ah, before I forget, here, this is for you. Thank you ever so much for freeing my father. He seems good, actually. No discernible lingering ill effects. Still, singing. But I'm so grateful to hear it.
My friend from Placid Waters. Appreciate you fetching the pitch ball Millie got me. And of course, the escort out of there. Though mostly, the pitch ball. Wonderful, wonderful. So good to see Millie again. Don't know how to do anything here, but I can sing to my heart's content. You heading out? Do take care. Again, much obliged.
Glad there are people out here like you. Gives hope. Both of us, well, we're forever in your debt.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice.
Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art. Damn right. Of course. We're Auntie's Choice. We know what motivates people better than they do. Real marketing is gut-driven. It's not something you think about. It's something you feel. That is, convince someone to feel.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important. Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Oh, do tell. I hope you gathered supplemental materials and recruited the scientist as well. Really? Thought you had more drive, but suppose that's fine.
I, for one, care little for the completion of stretch goals. You managed to avoid being mentally refreshed. That demonstrates considerable pluck and fortitude.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They can barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right, for your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete. Oh, finally a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Oh, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? It's true, the old corporations cared little for the individual, whereas I'd like to see each and every one of our employees rise from the refuse heap, like I did. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. Certain communications have even been exchanged between our ship and the Order's headquarters. You've spoken to the delegates, yes? A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Oh, my security team would never allow it, but a call like this over a secure line should be an acceptable alternative. Of course, Ruth would also need to agree. Perhaps if you were to perform a few useful errands for the Order, you might earn a meeting with her to propose the same. Have Ruth reach out when she's ready to talk, and I'll set up a call on a secure line next door.
New conglomerate Andy's choice to Arcade. Report to reception in the head office tower for details on this exciting opportunity.